Yo, what's up guys? It's Talon, and today we reached Legend in Wild Rift, as you can see here. And I'll just show you guys my stats real quick from Legendary rank. It took us 165 games with a 58.2% win rate to do so. And so we're going to watch the last game that got me Legend, and I'm also going to talk through some of the main things that allowed me to climb so quickly in Legendary ranked. Okay guys, so as you can see here, we are playing Warwick. So I am currently rank 1 Warwick. I'm also currently rank 1 Syndra. I got rank 1 Wukong a couple days ago, or yesterday rather, and then I also have been rank 1 Orion Echo recently this season, earlier on in the season. So I'm probably going to make guides on a lot of those champions I got rank 1 on as well. And then real quick as well, if you guys are interested in coaching, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169. It's just $25 an hour for coaching. There's also a link in the description to my Discord. So with those things out of the way, we're going to start talking about this game specifically, and kind of how this game showcases some of the things that did allow me to get Legends. So I played both mid lane and jungle, again, kind of 50-50 in terms of which role I was playing. And so here, starting pathing. The reason that I end up pathing towards bottom lane here is because Ashe and Lulu are a much stronger lane than Camille into a set, so I decide this is going to be the more likely way for me to possibly get some type of kill early game. So that's exactly what I do. I end up just pathing here. Again, very straightforward pathing, so we'll skip through this just so you guys see this. And then at this point, I'm looking at my lane, trying to see, can I gank before I do my 5th camp, or our 6th camp rather, or should I just do it right away? And I end up just doing it because there's not really anything, you know, very gankable here. So this is kind of something important. I'm pinging on my way to Scuttle and just looking for some type of start to the early game. But again, some of the main things that allowed me to climb when I'm playing jungle is that I would look for these ganks after 5 camps, sometimes waiting until 6 camps, and I would just blow random little cooldowns sometimes, and sometimes I would get nothing. Like here, I don't really get anything out of it, but it's more that I'm looking for it. That is kind of the valuable thing. Shout out to my Camille there for doing a good job. But yeah, that's kind of like one of the main things. Definitely was paying attention to lanes. And then here, the Malphite ends up going too far forward, so we just end up going for the kill on him. I know that I can just one-shot him because he is building AP for whatever reason. And so we're just able to get the kill on him, flash out, and get a nice little start there. My champion's burst damage is pretty insane. Really good early ganking, especially on level 5. And so you definitely want to look for those plays pretty aggressively whenever the enemy overextend, you have your ultimate, that type of thing. So again, this is a very common sequence we'll follow. Pretty much every early game, it's again 5 or 6 camps. If I find a gank, great. If not, full clear, do the scuttle, recall, go to the other side of the map. Obviously, if I get a kill, I'm still gonna just recall, go to the other side of the map. And then at this point, again, we'll usually just clear the rest of our map. But at this point, I do see that set is low, and so I'm thinking, can I go for a gank here? So let's say that set was high health and there was no chance of me killing him. I would just go straight to my bottom side camps. But because the wave is pushing towards me, my Camille has ultimate, and the set's right here, I'm deciding, hey, I'm going to look and see if there is some type of gank opportunity. Now, I notice that there's not really a gank opportunity, and so what I do is I just hit the Camille's wave a little bit to help her push it a bit. That way, she can't get turret dove under tower. So when you're looking for these types of ganks, when your teammate is a bit low, sometimes it does help out to just get that wave pushed a little bit, help them out a bit, even if you're not going to stick around. Now, in this case, the Hecarim ends up going for the gank. There's not really much we can do about that. Camille was already in a bad position because of the low health. Had we decided to not push the wave, then Camille would guaranteed die because she'd get dove under turret, and then we would lose a lot more turret plates. But with this choice, at least she'll lose a little less turret plates, that type of thing. Now there, unfortunately, I accidentally targeted the turret instead of Jace. Otherwise, we would have killed Jace. But not the end of the world. We still blow his flash. And now we're just looking for this bottom lane gank because, again, the enemy are pushed up pretty aggressively. So we're trying to see if there's anything we can do, or if at the very least we can blow some type of cooldown. So Ashe gets a nice arrow there, which then allows us to chase the Ezreal here and get the kill on him. So a lot of early fighting going on in this game. I'm trying to see if Malphite's going to flash. Turns out he doesn't, so we just get the kill there. And then at this point, we kind of want to prioritize our stronger lane, which is the duo lane. So we want to path towards duo lane because that's where the stronger lane is, and usually you want to play around your stronger lane when it comes to which objective you choose to do. And then I'm going to utilize the fact that Warwick passive's kind of, or Warwick's second ability's passive is kind of OP, and I'm going to find a kill onto this chase here as well. So generally, Warwick is one of the most bloodthirsty junglers in the early game. I definitely prioritize efficiency on a lot of champions, but Warwick is one of those champions where you have to be really, really like looking to fight when you can, because a lot of your early games are going to be reliant on you snowballing with a lot of kills here. And so that's, again, why we played around our stronger lane, is because we know that's where it's more likely to get kills. Probably not going to get kills onto a set who is ahead with a Camille who's behind, because she's just not that strong early game in that type of scenario. So again, we're just kind of prioritizing You know that. And so usually, again, the main things about Legend Q that I found important is just like prioritizing my champion strength. So when I'm playing Warwick, I'm going to fight a lot. When I'm playing, you know, Echo Jungle, I'm going to farm a lot more. That type of thing. Here, I'm trying to make sure I don't get invaded, so I go straight to my blue side. And then playing around your stronger laner, as we said. Don't want to worry about your person who's not doing well. Like this Camille to me, not a big deal because she's not doing well. I'd rather play around someone who's doing well and, you know, get some type of advantage at least so I can carry the later parts of the game. Also, I do want to mention real quick that Legend Q is not a very good mode at all. The reason for this, so the benefits of Legend Q are that it's solo queue only. That's really good. I like that a lot. The problem with Legend Q is you can climb with like legitimately a 45% win rate in like 300-400 games to like Immortal, which is like Legendary Challenger, the second highest rank. And you can get Legend with like 48-49% win rate in maybe 300 games, 400 games. Like the rank 1 player in Legend Q at one point was 300 games, 49% win rate. And the reason you can do this is because the way it works is if you have an A or S rating or that type of thing, you'll gain more LP, but you don't really lose an equivalent amount of LP for playing really bad. So essentially, even though obviously better players will get higher, you know, like marks or higher LP more often for better performances, bad players will still obviously get S and A sometimes because, you know, like no matter how bad you are, you're going to every once in a while get S and A. And so that means that you're still going to gain more than you lose on average, regardless of your skill. So if you just spam a bunch of games, you're going to climb. And that's like compared to regular ranked, like there's a player with like last season, he had 2,800 games in regular ranked and he had like a 49% win rate and he only got to Grandmaster. So like you genuinely, you know, people always say like, oh, you can climb with a negative win rate in ranked, and that's true, but it's way harder and takes way longer. So there's that. And that means that a lot of times you'll have players who are just like really bad hitting Legend. So it's not really a big accomplishment to me. Obviously I did it with, you know, a good win rate, right? Obviously, so I'm, you know, it's still decent, but I find that, you know, solo queue Sovereign and solo queue rank 1 is a way harder thing. This was super fucking easy. Forgive me for swearing, but this was an extremely easy thing to do. And I was even for part of it playing champions I'm pretty bad at, like Ahri and Lissandra. I lost a lot during those days. That's why I was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to play the champs I'm good at so that I don't have to, you know, deal with this mode more, because the mode is just, like I said, these things lead to the game quality actually being significantly worse than regular ranked, which I know people don't like regular ranked, and I agree, like there's issues with it, but this is a much worse mode. So if you're trying to look forward to you know, playing legendary ranked when you get master, I wouldn't really hold your breath. And I'm not saying this out of like, I think it's obvious I'm not saying this out of like bias, because I climbed in both modes to the highest rank that you can get to and a very similar win rate, so I don't really have a reason to be like biased or anything. It's just, that's just my opinion based on playing it. But yeah, anyways, back into the game. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit as well, since we're kind of in a lull state anyway at this point in the game. Kind of main thing we're looking for now in the mid game is just as much farm as we can. So I'll take a mid wave here when the mid wave's up, and then I'll go into my camps, you know, rather than just going straight into my camps. That gives me a bit extra gold. And then here I see an opportunity to dive this set because he is pretty low and he's under turret, so I'm going to activate my second ability onto him. I think it activated on someone else on accident, and I'm looking for a dive. My teammates are here, so I know we can look for the dive. And you can tank turrets for a really long time as Warwick because of your third ability. The third ability is absolutely OP. So yeah, we're able to do that. We're able to get that top turret as well, and then we're just camping here in case the enemy end up going top turret, but they end up not going, so we just go for the blue buff instead. Then we look for the recall for our terminus, and we look for the fight now. So again, prioritizing a lot of fighting. A lot of times when it's past 7:30 on the map, I'll go for waves. After I'm, you know, say I clear my bot side before going to top side, I'll go for a mid wave. If there's a mid wave up, I'll help my teammates clear their side lanes because a lot of times they don't clear them fast enough, that type of thing. And then again, now just in this fight, I realize I kind of just have to ult out. We got the dragon, that's fine. Don't need to overforce, but we do end up trying to turn onto the Malphite, which leads to me dying. I should have just backed off because I had a shutdown. No real reason for me to fight there, but, you know, I'm a silly goose. So it is what it is. We're still strong, but this Hecarim does actually have more gold than us because he has been farming a lot more. And so this is kind of, you know, Hecarim playing around his strengths and me playing around mine, where I'm fighting to snowball my laners and still get a good lead, but I'm not going to perma farm. That's not what my champion does well. I'm still staying efficient, but I'm not over farming. Hecarim is doing a great job of farming because that's what his champion wants to do. His champion wants to farm a lot, wants to scale up and kind of pop off in 1v9 games. So just difference in champions and understanding that is pretty important. Here again, we go back to the farming, go to our red side, and then now we need to hover a lot of the Baron side because you can see I just finished all of my clearing right before Baron is spawning. Baron spawns, you know, in literally right now, so kind of prioritizing that. Again, going on the mid wave and focusing on this turret, focusing really hard on waves and turrets and that type of thing in the mid game. And then now we hover the Baron side because we want to make sure the enemy don't randomly get a Baron. And because my Ahri is really strong and she's dead, I'm kind of just trying to chill here and just stall. I don't really want to overforce a fight unless the enemy give me an easy angle to just one-shot them. For example, you know, this Malphite, and then I just ult him and one-shot him. But I'm kind of more so trying to get out, so then I use the Hecarim to dash out. And we're just looking for the fight at this point, seeing if we can kill Hecarim because he is pretty fed. But I think he runs out too far, so I just go back to the top side fight after grabbing this fruit. But yeah, again, just kind of trying to stall for my Ahri to come. And she does end up coming. Obviously, she has survived, and she kills the Hecarim. So we're able to get a pretty nice fight off there. And then we're looking for the Jace here. And if we're able to kill Jace, then we pretty much just, you know, can get Baron and can be in a pretty good spot, of course. So we do that, and then we do go for the Baron. We get the Baron. We end up killing someone right after. Because Malphite's just, you know, an interesting individual. They had basically all AD as well, so I went for the Death Dance here. And yeah, at this point, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I just end up going to the side lane, catching out this set with the Baron, and then using that, you know, pick that we got to push out the side lane harder and prioritize these turrets. Again, Warwick really utilizes the fact that he's so good at ganking and everything to just play a lot around turrets and waves in the mid game, so you can just help your team get a lot of these turrets and kind of snowball the game. There, they try to one-shot us, but my third ability is too broken, so they are not able to do so. And then we're able to get a nice little double kill. Even if Ahri dies, at least we get the double kill there. Not the end of the world. And then, yeah, we're just prioritizing, again, this dragon. Looking for a pretty straightforward way to snowball the rest of this game. I mean, at this point, I am insanely fed, so as long as I am using my third ability properly to tank and everything like that, I'm going to be chilling. We end up getting our ult up just in time to kill this I'm the Warwick. I didn't want to kill the Warwick. I want to kill the set. Then we go over onto the Jace as well. And again, you can see my damage is absolutely absurd at this point. This is definitely one of my best champions in the jungle right now is Warwick. And I've been able to climb with him really, really well. As a whole, the other jungler I played a lot was Wukong on this push. I got rank 1 on Wukong. I was actually rank 1 Warwick, Wukong, and Syndra at the same time, which was kind of the most champions I've ever been rank 1 on at once. And now I've hit rank 1 on 8 champions total. So that is pretty cool as well. I will probably start making guides on a lot of those champs. But yeah, at this point, we're full build. We get our Spear Visage. Now we're just going to grab Stasis at the end. But we want to prioritize the Baron. We know that because the Hecarim's dead, it's pretty much a free Baron. So we end up going for that. Again, I'm just skipping through because I'm just trying to show you guys the gist of it. I don't need to show you guys all of the like details because what we're talking about is more like the bigger picture stuff. And again, the main things that allowed me to get Legend were consistency, playing around my stronger laners, and playing around my champion strengths. So again, when I would play Orianna Syndra, I would play really hard to farm 24/7, make sure I get as much gold as possible, that type of thing. When I'm playing champions like Warwick, I'm looking for fighting, and that's why I have, you know, 17 kills in this game, is just because I'm looking to constantly be fighting and fighting. I'm not over forcing fights. Some games no fights show up, nothing good happens, and in those games I will just be more, you know, be more patient, maybe just farm a bit more. So I'll definitely play based on how the game is going rather than the same way every game. I don't want to be a one-dimensional player. And yeah, so because of that, obviously this is a pretty straightforward end to the game because we are winning by a bunch. So I just decide, hey, I want to try to get 20 kills. Can I get 20 kills? Nope, but I can get 19. So, you know, that's pretty close to 20. It's like 6 away from 20. So, you know, it's not bad. Yeah, not quite 20 though. So a little unfortunate, but either way, we dropped 19 kills. We'll let you guys see the Legend animation as well and everything like that. But yeah, pretty cool. And here I gained extra LP because I get MVP. So that's something that happens. It's like you get more LP if you get MVP, which is why I was able to get Legend up this game because I was 39.65. You need 4,000. Normally you only gain like 20-ish, but I gained 43 because of the MVP. And again, that is what I think is wrong with the system. Obviously it benefits me, so I'm like, I don't mind, but I still don't think it should be that way. But either way, we end up getting the Legend in 165 games. In the same season that we got rank 1 solo queue Sovereign. So quite a good season here so far. I do plan on finishing level 18 with jungle and mid. I'm level 17 on both of those roles. Once I get those roles to level 18, I'm going to move on to the next role. And then next season, I'm going to try to get solo queue, probably with top laner or ADC. I'll have you guys vote. I'll have you guys vote if it's solo queue or duo. I think we'll probably be solo, but we'll see. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.